Well. Okay, the time is 6:30 and I will call the March 3rd meeting of the Belgrade Board of Selectpersons to order. We will begin with pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do that. We have a quorum with 3 of us. Dan Newman will be here a little bit later. He's running late. I move we open the regular meeting. Second, all in favor? And we begin with public comment. This is the time for anyone who has anything that's not on the agenda tonight that they would like to bring up, and we will most likely not deal with it tonight, but we'll deal with it at another time. Bruce?
I'd like to bring it up and have it when Dan's here, or kind of wait when Dan's here to move the full board, so everybody can see info about what I'd like to discuss. It's up to you three.
Okay, Doug is not going to be
No,
here.
I know Doug won't be here, but I know Dan will be later, so.
Okay, so we'll put you down as Bruce for Dan. Okay,
Just
Carol?
clarify for me if I'm on the agenda or not, because Lauren and I had a conversation, she said I'd be under new business.
No, she said other business.
Other business.
Other business,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we were all copied on that.
So
It was-
okay, I don't
It was
have-
other business because we got the correspondence too late to put it, the agenda had already been assembled.
Okay.
So that's why we have other business.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Oh, Anthony.
Oh, Anthony?
Good evening. I don't know if you have seen yet the newest edition of Town and City Magazine, which is the monthly publication from the
It's not-
MMA.
Can you wait until we see if we can increase the volume?
Is it how?
Oh, and the owl's not on.
We're checking the owl, Anthony.
I'll
My
wait.
apologies. And look, is it on?
They don't look funny. Yeah, it doesn't, it's usually lit out.
It did, but it's not lit.
Make sure everything's timed here.
Yeah, you're not lit. Is the plug? Yes.
Oh, that I see it.
When
That
in
was
doubt,
it.
when in doubt, plug it in.
There.
We were unplugged, Anthony. Now it should take just a moment.
It's getting it.
Okay,
Yep.
it's doing its thing. Hi, Mick. Let's try that again, Anthony.
I'm not sure the owl is working. All I'm seeing is you, Lorna.
Oh,
I can't hear it. Not maybe.
It's the owl's not working.
It just, owl.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now. Yay.
Okay, so try both
That
then.
word, it booted. It did boot us.
Okay, so as I was saying, the latest edition of Town and City Magazine, which is the monthly publication from the Maine Municipal Association, has a really interesting article at the very back that lists some warrant articles that every town meeting should have. And there were a couple that I was unfamiliar with. I don't think that they've been on our warrant in recent years. And so I would just commend that to you if the MMA legal is suggesting that that be on a town meeting warrant, then maybe we should look into it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Lorna, I don't know if you can change it in there to gallery instead of speaker, so everybody's, you can see everybody. Gallery, there you go. Super. Okay, anything else under public comment? Okay, let's go on to review and approve the minutes of February 17th.
I have a correction. Do we want that before we take a
Yes.
motion?
Yeah.
Under unfinished business, village sidewalks. It said we deciding to pursue Butch's offer. I think we should put Butch Garbowski.
Yeah.
We should add his name.
Yes,
And then the other one is. Oh, no, that's the only correction I had.
Yeah, and
Or
it would also
the-
be corrected in the motion, the actual motion.
yeah, both.
Yeah,
There's two spots here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was the only thing that I had.
so if there's nothing else, I move we approve as corrected.
Second, okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. And we have minutes from February 24th as well. I move we approve the minutes of the February 24th meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? No. All in favor? Okay. Under unfinished business, the first item is fire station financing bids, which must have taken a ream of paper. I know.
So you looked at these at your last meeting, and what you decided was that we would have our bond council and maybe our financial institution that we do business with take a look at these and maybe give some guidance or recommendations. So I had Northeast Bank look at it and also Lee Bragg from Bernstein Chair. And they were both in agreement, as we heard at the last meeting, that our best bet is the bond bank. It's the lowest interest rate. The drawback is that you cannot pay it down. We've already been approved and we've got a year to make a decision on it. If we did have a good amount of donations coming in that could be invested in an account for interest, and we could make payments on the bond from that, so an option to get the better rate. So if you look, I kind of gave you each proposal, the rate, the total interest, total principal, and then the total payments column, so you can see exactly what it would each one would cost. And they vary a little bit, even though you may have a lower interest rate, you'll be paying more because it's a 360 or 365, however they use that in their calculations for the year annual. I can't keep up with any people in. So I'm not sure what you want to go with. If you're looking at exactly what our people who know what they're talking about say, then we should go with the bond bank.
Now, I'm just wondering, since this is a significant decision, if we should,
Should have a full board.
well, if not a full board, we should wait. We know that Dan is coming.
Yeah, Dan is.
So I think that we ought to wait for Dan.
Yeah.
So I was,
Bruce, are you comfortable with this recommendation as chair of the?
No, we found on one of the pages on Camden, if we understand it right, is we put in for the 2.1, we only take the money as needed when needed. And if we not needed all, then we don't have to take all of them.
Well, that was my question is. With, and I should know this answer and I don't. With the amount that we're getting from. The grant. What's the minimum amount that we need?
We have to so out of that grant, we have to fund the first 25%.
Okay,
Right, so that's the
if
2.1.
we spend the full amount of the grant. Does that come out to the 2.1?
Yes,
Meaning we might not spend all the money from the grant.
correct. We
Okay.
don't know because we haven't got bids back.
And when do you know when we should get a little tighter number on that?
And not until the government gives us the okay on the application that I think went out.
Yeah, that got submitted this week.
Yeah, so once we get that back, which is, they said anywhere between 1 and 3 days, so we should have that back this week. And then after we have that back, and then we'll decide, then we'll be able to work
I
it.
think
I
would let us make
if
a
we're gonna
better
wait, if we're
form.
gonna wait for Dan to vote, that we
Right.
ought to wait and table the
Right.
discussion until he's here, so he can.
Right.
So another, I guess I'll throw another thing out. Lauren, can we wait and do it when we have a full board in April? Is that too late, too far out?
I don't see that it,
There's no deadline.
I don't see that it is.
There is, I think,
For the bond.
Well,
I know about bond bank, but I think the other ones are.
May,
Camden was May,
yeah. We wanted to close and be done by May.
right?
Actually, March 30th is the deadline for Camden.
For Rutherford. However, I'm not sure that would change dramatically. Maybe,
Probably,
Yeah.
most likely not,
Yeah.
but that's what the paper says.
I mean, if we're not under the gun, I think we should check and make sure we're not gonna spend that whole amount, so we're not borrowing the whole amount.
I mean,
And then we would
We
look
won't
and
have
say,
estimates back that quick, because like
We-
when they put, Ezekiel, you gotta get out the groundwork, the electrical, the mechanical. So
right,
sheet rock, there's a lot of subs that's gotta be, so.
Right, and allow contingency and,
Right,
yeah.
so I mean, I wouldn't look to see bids back to sometime the end of April. But I just, or, I mean, it's up to you, we can wait till Dan gets here, or if Warren feels comfortable, wait till the first meeting in April. It's up to you, you know, it's whatever you guys feel comfortable with, I'm not 100% sure, I guess. The only reason I like Camden is I like, you know, the idea that we only take it as we need it, and if we fundraise. And we end up with quite a bit of fundraising, then we don't have to take so much of that bond.
Well, I remember Kathy McElway's words about precautionary, I think it was Kathy about the
yeah,
precautionary tale about.
We're already started,
I know, but I'm
you
just
know,
saying,
so,
I'm just saying that.
I mean, you know, the friends of Belgrade Lakes just, you know, raised $1 million for a parking lot.
yeah. Well, I guess my feeling is, and in talking with members on the committee, there are some members of the building committee who feel very strongly that we have a few individuals that have said, when you figure out where you're at, you come and we'll sit down and talk.
Yep.
And based on that, they feel confident that there's going to be some room for some fundraising. Well, this may be at the point when we say, okay, to whoever those people are.
Yeah.
This is where we're at, and they may say, oh, well, I was thinking I'd give you 25 grand. They may say, oh, I'm gonna give you 200,000.
Right.
But that this may be the time to have some of those conversations, and if we're not under a deadline to do it, we could vote our first meeting in April instead of voting tonight. That's all I'm saying.
And we discussed this last night at our association meeting.
So,
Well, and I think it's important that we hear from the building.
and the
committee.
building committee, I think, to say, where do you really think we are, and be respectful of their input.
Yeah.
On it. Well, that's sort of. my
Okay,
thoughts.
so do we want to table this until Dan comes, or do we want to table this until the first meeting in April?
I would table it longer, but I don't know how the rest of.
But what
you feel.
about the March, wasn't there a March 30th
March
deadline,
30.
Pam?
Let's, why don't we check in our next,
Yeah, we have
March
a,
16.
We've
yeah,
got
we're gonna
another
talk about
meeting,
moving the meeting from the 17th to the 16th.
right, yeah,
Right. So
so why don't we table this, I move we table this to our next select board meeting. And then we could, and then if it turns out that Camden says, okay, fine, you have to the 15th of April, or they may say, no, the 30th is the number. We at least could find out if that deadline's gonna impact us,
Okay,
And that's 2 weeks before that deadline.
right, yes, it gives us time.
Okay.
Okay, we've
Is that
got a
a motion?
motion.
I move that we table it till next meeting.
I've got a motion.
Yeah, second.
Okay, all in favor? All right,
Okay.
thank you.
and can we make sure that, I know that Bruce is on the building committee, but can we make sure that there's a consolidated
What
statement
what
from
date is the next select board meeting?
We're
Monday.
trying to move it from the 17th to the 16th,
Is
so
that a
from Tuesday to Monday.
No, I'll be the only one to be able to make it. I don't even know, because we have a mandatory meeting that Monday.
I'll be able to be here because I can go to the other one, but
Yeah.
yes, that is gonna
Dan
be,
won't be able to be here.
Dan won't
Just,
be able.
no,
for sure,
just
he's
me,
doing-
it'll be just basically the three of us.
Yeah.
And then not on your committee, so it'll be just me.
Okay, well then you can represent.
Yeah,
Come signed, sealed and delivered from the committee. Okay. All right. Town report, dedication and memorials.
So we handed these out to you, to give you a bit of time to review them. Mary agreed to give you updated, deaths. As well, and you've got the sheet that gives you, all of the previous, dedications. And we had a suggestion to do 4 memorials, a half page each this year.
Mhm. And a dedication in addition to that, so there would be 5.
So there would be a, dedication and then 4 memorials. Mary, you're on here. I think I see you. There's a moment. There you are. Yeah, right, Mary. 1 dedication, 4 memorials.
Yes. Yep, that's what we decided.
I would like to, put forward the name of Renee Burdette for, a memorial.
Who's the name, Barbara?
Renee Burdette,
Oh, okay.
who was very much involved, in addition to being a longtime Belgrade resident, he was very much involved with, he was an architect, and so he was very much involved with, the design and the planning for the Center for All Seasons.
I'd like to recommend the name of John Stewart, old Belgrade name, and he was very active in the Historical Society for a very long time. I knew he used to do some other things before I got
plus I was a
involved,
select person
but it's a
at
long,
one time.
old Belgrade name. Not that he was old.
So we have one, just one more, memorial.
I'd like to put out, Bill Avery.
Yeah, we have him.
We have him already.
Yep, we have
Okay.
him.
Thank you.
Yep. So we have one more.
But have we decided the dedication?
No.
So we need 5 names, basically.
We need
Yeah.
5.
We need 5 names, and we need to choose one of those to be the dedication.
Mrs. Hammond?
Yeah.
Mrs. Hammond?
Mrs. Hammond, Vernon Hammond.
Being politically correct there.
I know.
But I agree Gordon Powell's another.
Yeah.
Bill Tukey's another old name. I don't know.
And Gordon Powell was very, very much involved, I think, with, the planning for the library. I know that he was very busy as a banker, and so I don't know that his name, he wasn't an active committee member a lot of the time, but he was very,
Yeah.
active behind the scenes advising and helping with fundraising and so forth.
Yeah.
I just talked to, Lois Hazlett to get,
Oh,
some thoughts from her about some.
So we have 5 names now. If you would like to choose one.
So-
Well, let's see if there's anybody, let's see if there's anybody else. Anybody else have any
so we
suggestions?
have Powell and Stewart and Burdette and Avery.
And
And Hammond, Verna
What's his
Hammond.
Oh, and Vernon.
And did we honor Verna,
We honored both of them
Um,
before.
but not in this way, obviously.
she had the, Boston.
Oh, the Boston Post.
Boston King.
Yeah, okay, I knew
Oh,
there was
that's right.
something.
Well, maybe we go with those 4, but,
So Bill Avery, Renee Burdette, Verna Hammond, Gordon Powell, and John Stewart.
and I know, Bruce had recommended that, maybe we dedicate the town report to Bill Avery.
Yep.
Who was an active firefighter, and very active in the community, so maybe that's a really appropriate way that we had someone, quote, die in service as opposed to someone who's retired from that had a lot that, I could live with that,
Yeah.
so. So I make that motion.
I second that. motion.
All in favor? Okay,
Thank you, guys, I appreciate that.
so that's the dedication, and then do we need a separate vote for the other full memorials?
I move that we, for the 4 memorials, we use Renee Burdette, Verna Hammond, Gordon Powell, and John Stewart.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, great.
Okay.
So the cover would be Billy.
Yeah, usually that's how it works.
We could do cover, or we could do,
We could do the fire department logo with his
Picture.
picture.
or you could do his
Would be nice.
badge with the black.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
If you can, somebody can get us a nice photo.
Yeah.
I think, well, Andrew has it, cause he did that video when he did you saw his video he did when he
Yeah.
played the pipes. And he had, on the
yes.
video, he had
Yeah.
the badge with the sash or ribbon on it. So I'm sure he probably has that picture that we could
Hey, Mom.
grab. So, actually, I do know him, I'll email him. Ask him to send it to, should that come to Mary or to you, Lorna? How do,
You can send it to Mary.
Mary?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it came to my attention that without a subscription, a town subscription to the Sentinel/KJ, that we're not aware of people who have passed away out of state. Because I saw that there was one name that was missing, which was Wayne Smith. And he passed away in Connecticut because he had moved down there to be near his daughter to receive care. And so I just wanted to say maybe we could find out how much it is to re-up our subscription to the Sentinel/KJ, Central Maine Papers. So we have that information.
Will do.
Well, we assign someone to read the obituaries every day.
But yeah,
I literally, in my office, when I was running my business in Portsmouth, I had one of my staff. And their job was to read the obituary every day and see if we had any claims. Didn't take long, a few names, but.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean,
Okay.
there's not a whole lot of local news anymore, but
yeah,
there is that, so.
yeah.
Right, so moving on to new business, the first item is committee appointments and resignations. We do have some appointments. And the first is Lauren Smith for Transfer Station Recycling Committee. So this is your chance, Lauren, to let us know why you're eager to join the transfer station.
Why you wanna do this?
I'm just excited to continue to lend my perspective, and I am looking forward, to the opportunity. It's really an honor anytime I'm asked to help within the community, so I appreciate your consideration, and hopefully you choose me to join the transfer station.
All right,
Okay.
I move we appoint Lauren Smith to the Transfer Station Committee. Second, all in favor? Okay, thank you.
Well, I see you like gardening, so maybe the flowers coming in are attractive.
Yes.
Have a few more there for Kenny to water.
Lauren, just stop in the office.
Yes, I
and
get sworn in.
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
Not on a Wednesday.
not on the Wednesday.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And part of the job is dressing the mannequins down by the harbor.
I love flowers about the most.
That's really important. I don't know if Kenny and Randy will give that up, but.
Well, my girls come with me every time we go to the transfer station, so they have conversations with Fancy Nancy. We're on it.
All right, and next we have MacGregor Stecco, also for Transfer Station and Recycling Committee. Mac, you're taking on a lot of committees these days.
Well, I want to be Bruce when I grow up.
So, tell us a little bit about your interest in transfer
Yeah,
station
so-
recycling.
He's a planner as my, so interested in the environment, interested in conservation, just finding more efficiency.
Okay, motion to accept.
Yeah.
Second,
No, I didn't make, I'm asking.
oh, I move we accept Matt's application for transfer station and recycling committee.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? All right, welcome aboard.
Welcome.
And the third is Nicholas Alexander, an application to join the planning board. And I think we have Nick online.
We do.
Yeah.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hello, Nick.
Hi Barbara.
How are you?
Good.
Good. So you're in a position now that you can join the planning board.
Yes,
Super.
thank you.
Okay.
Do you have any particular interest in planning board?
Shoreland zoning.
Shoreland zoning, okay.
Yeah.
Important topic.
Yes.
Yeah. Pardon.
Nicholas, would you like me to read the letter that you submitted with your application?
Sure.
All right. Dear members of the select board, I would like to briefly clarify the circumstances surrounding my prior resignations from municipal boards. At the time, I was engaged in the federal hiring process and believed it was necessary to step away from all non-federal volunteer positions out of caution and respect for potential employment requirements. My understanding then was that continued service in local municipal roles might present a conflict or be viewed unfavorably during the hiring process. Out of prudence, I chose to resign. Since that time, I have received clarification indicating that federal employment does not prohibit service in local volunteer positions, provided such service occurs outside of work hours and does not present a direct conflict of interest. Additionally, as of March 3rd, 2026, I am no longer in the federal hiring process and do not intend to reapply in the near future. I want to ensure there is no misunderstanding regarding those decisions. My resignations were made out of caution, not a lack of commitment to the town of Belgrade. I remain interested in serving the community in a responsible and professional capacity. Respectfully, Nicholas Alexander.
And the committee has endorsed his. Yeah,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, and also the transfer committee has. Yeah.
Yeah, transfer station has both.
I forgot to clarify that.
Okay.
Yeah, a motion?
I move we appoint Nicholas Alexander to the planning board. Planning board.
Second. Okay, all in favor? All right, welcome aboard,
Thank you
Nick.
guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your service.
Just stop in and see Mary and get sworn in, Nicholas.
Okay,
Alrighty, thank you.
thanks.
And you have a whole list, Mary's list behind,
Oh, okay,
all of her ballot cards.
okay, so do we need to,
Um,
do you want to read all these? Do we have to do them one by one or we can just do them as a group?
I think we can do the whole thing,
The whole group?
the list,
Okay,
sure.
so do you want to read all the names? Do you want me to?
Sure, yeah, no, I can,
Okay.
I'd be happy to.
So this is election workers appointed by select board.
So Judy Johnson, Frank Hagan, Christian Bishop, Mark Berlinger, Nicholas Alexander, Joan McKenzie, Becky Seal, Katarina Burdette, Regina Coppins, Alexandra Terrio, Kathy Drolet, Jared McGoldrick, Nicole Morin Scribner, Caitlin McGoldrick, Kelly Webster, Valerie Hudspat, Christina Wilson, Maureen Kibler, Sarah Langette, and Kathy
Sauter.
So I just
I
want to
move-
say, yeah, I just want to say that, excuse me, that this is more than I need, but I sometimes have snowbirds. And so this leaves me a wide variety of people with between Republicans and Democrats, making sure that I have an even amount of uh, political people on the committee.
And you'll probably have some busy primary and election this year too.
I'm anticipating it.
Yes, I do. Do we vote on these or they're just appointed?
They're appointed, but, so you could just.
Can we just affirm them?
Sure.
No, the
Yeah.
board actually has to vote these in. The
Yeah.
board
But
has to,
they can do it as a group,
right, you could do it as a group, correct.
so we need a motion and a second.
Okay. I move we affirm the election workers as read previously.
Second. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
And thank you very much to any of them that are
Yeah. Yes.
that are watching.
Greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. So. Next, we have RFP for legal services.
So this is an RFP we pulled from. I think we pulled this from Farmington. And then reworked it to fit Belgrade. Mary and I both went over this several times. I think it's in good shape if the board is agreeable and you want to put that out for proposals.
That looked okay to me.
It made sense to me, but I'm not the legal beagle to know, but.
Yeah, I read it and it sounded.
Yeah.
Sounded fine. Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, so.
So,
And so do we have a date for when this would go out?
Usually I'll pick a date so that it's due the week prior to your
Select board meeting.
a select board meeting.
Okay.
So we usually get them noon on Thursday, so I have them ready to put in your board packet and then.
And the deadline would be, say, a month after.
We could do, yeah,
Or
we could do that.
6 weeks or
Yeah,
something.
sure.
After it's.
Yeah.
Made public.
Lauren, that looks like.
so I move we approve the draft.
Oh, Anthony.
Yep.
Anthony's gonna.
Anthony?
I know that cost has been a concern for the board and the administration. I looked at the RFP. Are you folks going to be asking the respondents to provide both an hourly rate and a fixed fee rate so that you're comparing apples to apples with whatever responses that you get?
Yes.
I did not see anything in the RFP in that regard.
Proposed cost per hour on the proposal form.
But
So,
the town for the last several years has had a fixed fee rate that might serve the town well moving forward. And so I guess my question is are you going to ask your respondents for a fixed fee rate in addition to an hourly rate?
Well, I assume that where it says compensation, the town anticipates paying on a monthly contractual basis. I read that as being a monthly fee, but maybe that was incorrect.
I don't believe that's the case, Barbara. I mean, they could bill you for all the hours and bill you on a monthly basis, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it would be a monthly rate.
So it'd be just a matter of on the proposal form, instead of saying proposed cost per hour, saying proposed fixed monthly fixed fee rate.
Didn't we say something about the scope of services, which to be a scope of services under the fixed fee, and then we'd want a list of what would not be included under the fixed fee with a rate. Cause that would give us what we have now. Right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Cause right now we have a
Right.
monthly fee and it covers X
X,
items,
right.
and anything outside of that is
We get billed
on.
hourly.
So we should build that into the RFP.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
I'll make
Good
a
point.
point to get that.
So that would be on the proposal form under financial consideration.
Yes. So we wanna do that and bring it back, or? So do that.
Yeah.
So then I
update
move
that.
we table approval of this until our next meeting. So we can appropriately ask for the fee schedule.
Second.
Or
Second.
I moved
All in
it.
favor? Any further discussion? Anthony, your hand is still up?
Oh,
Oh, never mind. Okay. So moved and seconded, all in favor? Of tabling, we're tabling it
we're tabling it.
until
To table to
until the next meeting to review the new language.
Yeah. Get that in.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, next item is solar fees, application and
Funds is here.
panel and decommissioning.
As part of the commercial development review ordinance, section 5B1 refers to a permit technical review fee to be set by the Board of Selectpersons payable at the time of application. To date, the fee has not been set. Code Enforcement Officer Hans Rasmussen, who's here tonight with us, recommends an application fee of $2,500, a permit fee of $2,500 plus $25 per panel, and a decommissioning bond equal to the cost of construction. And attached, we also attached the referenced ordinance section, but Hans, you thought you might have some additional information today to share.
I was unsuccessful in finding exactly what I was looking for. I found there's a lot of legislation out now regarding solar panels, and I think I found some stuff that was buried, but I'm not sure that it's what I really was looking for. But the big thing is if the state this past year, they kind of eliminated home rule for housing. So where our minimum lot size is kind of irrelevant now, they can be allowing up to 4 houses on any building lot that's been approved. So our home rule on that has been thrown away. And there's a lot of talk about they're doing that to the solar ordinances that municipalities have put out. So our fee structure is outside of the ordinance, just like all of our other fees now. They're set by the select board, so they can't monkey with that. So I say we kind of prepare ourselves for if, especially the decommissioning and disposal part. Because if somebody were to come in here and set up a solar field and in 20 years or less, just abandon it, we're stuck with getting rid of hazardous materials and cleaning up the land and all the infrastructure that they put in. So the decommissioning bond is probably the biggest part of this that's going to take the most thought. And, there are different ways to do the decommissioning. Some municipalities have put in the 1.5 times the cost of construction, which is reviewable every 3 years. So if building materials keep going higher or the cost of eliminating this stuff, disposal is going up and up, you can change that bond through time. So there's a lot to think about here. And $2,500 for the application and $2,500 for the permit plus 25 per panel, that kind of creates a nest egg of legal monies because these people also have a bad reputation as far as environmental concerns. So there's a lot of aspects here to look at.
Now, don't we also have enough, I don't want to say enough, we have quite a few restrictions on solar development. So we have not had any applications. Is it likely that we're going to have applications for solar development, given the restrictions that we have as far as?
In the ordinance, it depends on how
Yeah.
much of the home rule the state's gonna take away.
Somebody's got their hand up too,
Lisa? I'm sorry.
Hi, Lisa Gagny Siniendo. I was just gonna ask, what are the current guidelines around solar fields? Do we have anything in place? Because what I'm looking at in the news, it doesn't look good. It looks like they want to encroach on the country. So I want to make sure that we have proper guidelines of policies in place. And so do we have anything currently
Yes, Hans can speak to that. We
to
haven't.
stop them from developing?
We do have a very tightly written ordinance. It is, the concern is that the state is gonna pass legislation that basically makes our ordinance irrelevant.
Oh
They're gonna
my
get rid of
God.
they call home rule.
The home rule that we can set our own standards for as far as setbacks and screening and the visibility standards, like right now. If there's a solar field to be built in Belgrade, it cannot be visible from any of the lakes or adjacent recreational area.
So should we look at those policies and guidelines to see if we can tighten them up a bit before the government kind of encroaches onto us?
I think what you're gonna find, Lisa, is that they're gonna, if they take away home rule, then we're out of luck.
There's nothing we can do.
Right.
There's
We have-
nothing,
there's-
there's nothing we can do.
We have
so-
to abide by. the
But I
state
thought
standards.
you don't have to have your own set. It's not like handing it over to the town to kind of set rules and guidelines, no?
They're taking that away. So they're going to do what they want to do or tell us what they want us to do. Restrict what we can fight. So probably.
Wow.
I bet the best solution or suggestion or what to watch for will be, there will be some groups or something that will be fighting against it, I'm sure.
Representative Laura Libby has already started, I think.
So I would guess that might be a way for people who are concerned about it, if they want to find out more.
So Hans, is this something that we would want to put into, we would want to pass these fees before the state does away with home rule?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I put $2,500 and I mean, you can make it 25,000 for application fees.
I mean, do we have examples from other towns of these?
Farmington is a flat fee of $500 because they're trying to bring it in.
Yeah.
Farmington?
Yeah.
Matt had a question, go ahead.
So how does this relate to the decommissioning for windmills?
Can you talk a little bit louder?
How does it relate to decommissioning for windmills?
Well, our ordinance speaks to decommissioning, but again, we don't have a windmill fee. And there's nothing in the ordinance about a windmill fee. So maybe if it's all renewable energy, that's gonna treat it the same. We need to look at setting fees for windmills and.
Hans, is there any, I'm concerned when it says $25 per panel. How do we define per panel? Is it a small panel or big panel or, I'm sorry?
Whatever it is that they bring, because they connect them together, so.
They're usually 2x6 panels.
Yeah, we're not talking about individuals who want to put solar
Right.
panels
No, I'm talking
on the
commercial.
roofs. This is commercial
Yeah.
development.
No, I understand that, but I would assume those panels would vary in size or could vary in size?
It could be 4x8, you know, 10x
mean-
They usually, I think they're usually 2x6, they tie together. I know I do work for a warehouse out in Benton that does commercial. Well, actually, the warehouse is full of, bad panels and they've got no place to get rid of them. And in that warehouse, they're 2x4, 2x6 panels and they tie them together.
So I guess only because my brain works weird, that if you have a panel that, if these are 2x6, so you've got, do they fit into another piece that is
Yes,
12 by,
yeah.
so then what's the panel? Is it the 12 by something that these individual pieces fit in? So that's all I'm looking, is there a way to sort of tie down how we are defining panel, as long as we have the right still to do that?
Right. I've talked to Hans a little bit on this, I think Saturday or whatever day it was. And I'd like to see the per panel even higher and the permit fees even higher, but that's just me because like Hans says, they are the biggest, VPs after them steadily. And we're gonna need, if that law ends up going through and we lose the ordinance, power on the ordinance, we're gonna end up with solar farms here and we're gonna end up disposing of them. Like I said, there's a warehouse in Benton right for them, they can't even get rid of them.
So I don't know if we could say per 2x6, 12 square feet, or per, I don't know, I'm just asking that question, is that worth
Square foot would be right.
Yeah, I do that.
Square foot would be right.
that we do something on more of a square foot, so we don't have people saying, oh no, this huge panels, we're calling that one panel, we're not calling it 12 that make it up, so however, I don't know how to do it other than it's a question,
I
concern.
mean, we could look at what the industry standard is.
Yeah,
That would probably be definitions there.
or do a square footage, you're right, we could do a square footage,
Yeah, Matt?
feet per square foot.
I think this is a perfect opportunity to ask KB Cog to come do a report to us on what's going on in the region and what recommendations are.
KB Cog?
KB Cog, yeah.
Yeah.
Still members.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then my other question is on, I know when we put our ordinance together, we talked a lot about decommissioning, but if you build it for $100,000 now, when you go to decommission it in 20 years, a bond for $100,000 may not be anywhere close to what it's gonna need to take all of that stuff out and recycle it or whatever, so I don't know if that's a fair number, I guess that's my question.
Well, that's why a lot of communities have a 3-year review on the bond.
Oh, okay, all right.
Every 3 years they'll review it and see if it needs to be adjusted.
And
I would think we would want to put something in there, because you think of what the cost of something over 20 years has gone up.
Mhm.
The cost to take it away
Right.
is, and the cost to take away some of these things are gonna be exorbitant at the end.
and
And we don't want them just leaving it, walking away
Well,
and
especially
paying the
if,
fine.
yeah, now, if they're having trouble now finding places to put these things in 20 years, I can't imagine what's.
Where
going
they're
on.
gonna put it.
So I think Hans had said 1.5 of the construction fee is usually what they set the bond and then review it every 3 years. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
This says equal to the cost.
This says
of
equal,
construction.
so I just think we need to look at that and see, or write in the language
Review it every 3
for the
years.
review or whatever.
And would that be the planning board or would that be the code enforcement, Hans?
it's the select board.
Select board, it would review.
Setting the fee, it was the select board.
Well, no, I mean reviewing every 3 years, reviewing the bond.
I think the idea of checking with Katie Cog is a good one.
Yeah,
Anthony?
So you may or may not be aware, there's some legislation pending in the legislature right now that would essentially dissolve any local regulations of solar farms if the regulations are more strident or stringent than the state's regulations. And I don't know that I would make any changes to your ordinance until that legislation has been resolved. And
Yeah,
one
we're
will.
not talking about making changes to the ordinance, we're talking about adding fees that, we don't have, so that we
I
can
understand.
still.
I understand, but if the state law doesn't say this is the fee and you're charging something above that, then it may be a moot point anyway. At this point, Belgrade doesn't have any solar farms, and so maybe it's just prudent to wait to see um, what happens with that legislation before you consider any changes to what you've got on the books right now.
I think that's.
Well, Anthony, the ordinance says that the select board will set the fees, and the fees have never been set, so this is our jumping off place of setting a fee.
I understand, but you may set the fees tonight, and then later this year, the new state law may go into effect that makes those fees null and void.
Well, there's no cost to setting a fee.
Yeah.
Uh,
I suggest that, we ask Lorna to check with KB Cog and see what their, experience is with this, as far as advising us on fees.
Will do.
And the MMA is opposing that bill pretty stridently in the legislature. So you could check with the advocacy arm of MMA just to find out what the status of that is and maybe what the prospects of the bill are.
Anthony, do you know what bill number that is?
I don't know off the top of my head, Hans, what the LD number is. But I think it was highlighted in one of the more recent legislative bulletins that the MMA sent out. So I think more than a few people in that room probably have access to that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I definitely, if we, if the ordinance allows us to have a fee and we don't have a fee, then we should have a fee for as long as we're able to have our own fee. And then if we need to change it with legislation, we can change it. But we don't have to change the ordinance because the fee is outside the ordinance.
Have the fee.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's my understanding, just in conversation, I've heard that part of Belgrade right now is not attractive to people wanting solar farms because we have a lot of, the ordinance was written pretty strictly. So it made us not so attractive. But if it gets changed, then we may be very attractive.
Yeah. Kristen?
Hans, it looks like it's LD 1881. So
1881.
yeah, on agricultural land.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think we just need to
Get some more information.
get a little bit more information.
Hey, Dan, oh, there you did it.
Just in time for the Boston Post came.
Ooh.
Okay, so we don't need to vote, we table on this, you don't need to get reviews. Okay, all right. Next item is the Boston Post case.
You want to speak about that, Mary?
Yeah, so I reviewed all the criteria that was allowed to select a person. I have had no nominations from the general public. And so I am nominating Miriam Ladd, who is the eldest person in the town of Belgrade and fits the criteria. She'll be 97 years old on November 19th November 19th. So anyway, so it's kind of ironic because her mother was also a Boston Post cane holder, and her name is actually on the plaque in the back of that room. So I did speak with her son, Jeff Ladd, and he felt that she would be honored to be nominated for this.
I move we nominate Miriam Ladd to be awarded the Boston Post cane from Belgrade.
Second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
So secondly, I guess I'm not sure. She is currently living in her home with her daughter. And so the award presentation, I have not seen Miriam for a couple of years. I'm not sure what her ability is about getting out, and if need be, would a select person be available to go to her home for this presentation?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure we can make that.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. All right, other business. We have one item under other business, which is the question of secret ballot method of voting, which Carol Crothers brought to our attention.
Okay, so there might be people on Zoom who are supporting this, and if that's the case, would you raise your hand? I mean, in addition to my letter asking them to consider it, does anybody else? Okay.
Slowly.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you have my letter, it lists a number of reasons, and so briefly, I think the select board currently offers the courtesy to our voters, the 2,700 people registered to vote, for a private ballot in the voting booth, for the school budget and for the selection of select board members. And people have the opportunity to vote absentee, go during the 8 hours that the polls are open. But this courtesy is not offered for our own town, our municipal budget. That's presented at the town meeting where less than 10% of the voters appear. And so that's kind of my reasoning, is that expanding the courtesy to all of the big ticket items that we face as voters in this town is fair.
Okay. Bruce?
Does anybody have a number of people that voted at last year's school budget?
Wasn't it
In
30?
Belgrade, I believe it was, I think, 183-ish, something like that.
Oh, that actually went or actually,
Voted.
voted?
I knew it was a little.
I would say that Lisa's about correct, that it was a very low turnout for the school budget voting.
We actually voted it down. I
We
think,
did.
didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
It was voted down.
I guess what I would just like to say about this issue is that I definitely think it's worth having a discussion, but I think that what I would like to propose is that we wait until after the next town meeting to have that discussion. When we talked about changing the fiscal year, we offered a kind of a straw poll. We did it, we asked the townspeople, we asked a non-binding question. You know, would you approve of changing the fiscal year from January 1 to July 1? And I would think that with a question that is this major, that we would want to have a townwide discussion. And even though the select board in theory has the authority to decide what goes on secret ballot and what goes to the floor of town meeting, there are a lot of restrictions. And right now, we don't even have time to put together the warrant articles 60 days ahead of the vote. We're still in the process of finalizing the budget. So it would be physically impossible to do it for the June meeting. And I think because there's been a longstanding tradition of town meeting that's, since the founding of Belgrade, we've, had a town meeting as a tradition. I think that in my opinion, it should be a town-wide discussion. And it could be something that we start discussing, after the town meeting in June, and sort of figure out a process. And see what the townspeople feel about it. But I don't think that, I mean, I know that we can't do anything, we can't make that change for this upcoming June meeting.
And I mean, I actually agree that I would love, I think when we had to vote during COVID, we ended up with, I want to say around 500 people that voted. There were more people making decisions. That is, roughly a $13 million budget. I think I like it. I understand it's away from the tradition of what we have. And I think it's something this important to the history of Belgrade and to the voters needs some thought. And I would say we'd have, quote, a town meeting 30 days or when the absentee ballot becomes open, so you can have the same format and discuss them and talk about why this is good and why this is bad, and then people could start voting. And that we try it 1 year and maybe it works wonderfully and we have a lot of representation. Maybe people go in and it's like, I'm not voting for anything, and everything fails and we're like, oh no. I think we need a process. And we can't get it done for this year, but we could put on, it's what we did for the fiscal year. Would you prefer that this be voted on the ballot? And it's non-binding, so people don't have, we're not bound by it. And then depending on what that conversation is and what, obviously those results would be reported at town meeting, so we could say, let's allocate X amount of time to sort of do it, and then see how we come around for the next year and make sure the process is gonna work. And we don't end up with, because one side is people are just gonna maybe get grumpy about something and vote everything down, and then we're back to the same piece. Well, maybe they will, and maybe they won't, but we're not gonna know until we try. So I think it's a process that we need to
Yeah.
explore,
Yeah,
and
I
we
think
need
it's
to
I
get
think we
a
need the
lot of
process.
opinion.
So my question is, if you vote on it in a town meeting, the problem remains the same, is that you have a very under 10%.
No, it would be, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, mine would be to have a warrant article that would be voted on, so anyone who votes could vote, but it's non-binding. And it's exactly what we did with changing the fiscal year. Would you be in favor of changing the fiscal year that we had talked about for quite a while? And then when we got the numbers back on that, people were saying, yes, we'd be in favor of it. So then we looked at all the pros and cons, a lot of conversation, and then we've changed it. And I think that same process, because, there are 25, 30 of us making a decision that's important for the town. I think it needs more conversation and to find out where the townspeople really feel. But I certainly advocate that we look at that strongly.
Right. And there's some other considerations just in terms of format that if you do a written ballot, the budget questions have to all the questions have to be just yes or no.
Right.
And so there's no opportunity for changing any of the budget amounts as there is at town meeting. So there are some of these considerations. It's not just simply,
Right.
You take the warrant and you just vote in secret ballot instead of, discussing it on the floor. There's no discussion, there's no change. So, there's
No explanation.
no explanation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Which
that's
is
like-
why I would want to have an informational meeting 30 days ahead of time and publicize it the same. And we may have 10 people show up, because we've done a lot of hearings where no one's really shown up. So
But
could
we
be-
have the capacity now to videotape it and have it available, or to
Right.
video it and have it on the.
but at least it's a conversation that you're including more people in. So.
Do you want to take it?
I have a clarification question. So we don't have time now to get it on the secret ballot for this town meeting, but it sounds like it's a conversation. So what you're recommending is having it be a warrant article that's not. Is there time to get that on for this June meeting? Because if there isn't, it puts us out an additional year.
No,
Correct?
We could put a warrant article, it just poses the question.
Right.
Right,
However we want to word it.
we have time to
Yes,
do that.
We have.
Okay,
time to
that's
do
what I'm
that.
asking, just so it feels for the June.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Just so we don't miss deadlines.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would question that, because I think even before we have that non-binding question, we would need to educate people as to what the ramifications are. And
True.
I don't know if we have time to put all that together.
We do not.
Because it would have to be done.
Yeah.
So then, but then the issue would be that it wouldn't be on a warrant article until next November. Right, and that's not even.
We could, if it went on in November, we'd still have time to look at it for the following
Fiscal year.
June or May.
Right, I'm just trying to, for their
Right.
question, I just wanna make
Yeah,
sure we're not gonna.
But also, I mean, this is a major
Right.
philosophical issue for the town of Belleville, and I'm not in favor of rushing it
Of course.
because
Yeah.
I feel that
It's a big decision.
it's a big decision and that we really,
Town meetings are historical.
Right.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
don't- But I don't think anyone's trying to get rid of the town meeting and the conversation
Right.
or the dialogue. I think that is absolutely an important piece, but making it necessary to be present to vote, I think is the hard part for some people, staying 4 hours. If you have families or other commitments, it's a very large commitment to stay that long. And some people may want to stay that long to learn everything that's going on and make sure they're fully informed. But if there's, 1 or 2 topics that they need to learn about at the meeting, then they can do a ballot separately. That just allows more opportunity for people to have a chance to vote.
It does sound like there's a big education piece here, though.
Right, and that's
People
what I'd
need to
like to do is
understand
that
it, right?
before we do even a non-binding question, I think we would need to educate the voters on,
What it's gonna be.
what it's gonna be like and what it's going to change.
And if you do, but if you do it in November, it gives you all summer to educate and do multiple public hearings. You do one in North Belgrade, you do one at the center, do one here. It gives you, and plus online, and it gives you multiple, that way maybe you can bring the community and,
In any event, it wouldn't, nothing would change until next year's
Right.
voting
Right.
for town meeting, whether it be in person or on the ballot. So
Okay,
if
we
you
have
take
some
that
people
time.
online who wanna talk, Lisa. Let's do Sharon first, cause Lisa, you spoke on an issue already. Sharon Neto?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Sometimes I never know. I just like to add, I don't really know how I feel about the answer to the question, but when we talk about educating, I think we need two sides of that education. And let's not leave out the people that want it to be a secret vote, that have trouble going to town meeting, who can't physically sit in town meeting and vote. There's a lot of issues on that side as well that need to be addressed. And so I think it's, great to educate people, but I would hate to see the education be one-sided. It needs to be, you need to involve some of the people in the situation now that are asking for the ballot in order to get those items out there that will educate everyone.
Yeah, I think that we would make an effort
Would have
to
to.
certainly do that, to have all viewpoints represented.
Here are the pluses and here are the
Yeah.
minuses.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah, they really are.
Lisa?
Yeah, well, the problem is a lot of people work, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to vote on the one of the big ticket items. And I think putting people's circumstances in front of feelings or philosophies or things like that. I think the more important thing is to make sure that everybody has opportunity to vote. That is, and when I say opportunity to vote, that means not by a show of hands on a Wednesday or a Tuesday evening. I mean, set it at a time when the general public can go and vote and not just be constricted just to one time and, because it can be difficult for families and people that work.
Sure. Well, maybe what we could consider doing is after the June town meeting, we put together a committee of a few people to really think about how to present the issue.
How to present the issue. Yeah.
And maybe even Katie Cog or MMA. I mean, we're certainly not the first town that's thought about making a change, so I'm sure that there's some models that we can look at and, see how other towns have approached the issue.
Is that really warranted to form a committee? To talk about if we should be voting as like, I'm just not understanding. I feel like this is going to be dragged on and dragged on until next year. And there's
Well,
been
I
a
think-
lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk within the town. And there's a lot of people that have been upset about the way that there has been voting being done. So
Well, why don't we put you on the committee, Lisa? You can help us figure out the process.
okay, we'll talk. Thank you.
The cons and all the in-betweens of making a change.
Yes.
Okay, anything more? Let's move on to warrants. Thank you, everybody. I think this will be a good
I have
discussion.
something on the down
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bruce had something for public comment, but he wanted to wait until you were in.
All right, so storm closures. There's been a lot of them in the last 3 years, and a lot of them that shouldn't be happening. There's a lot of talk, same thing as everything else. There's a lot of talk of that throughout the town. Why we close. And we're closed. They're getting paid for it. And I know on the other side, the people that have to come to work aren't getting paid for it. So the ones that are out, they're getting paid for it. Realistically, that's a day of vacation that they get. Where the other crew gets nothing. So I guess what I'm getting at, I think what would help slow down the closures a little bit. One, nobody gets paid for it, or you come in on Wednesday to make up the snow day. Or you compensate the people that have to work. It's the morale is on the ones that have to work, the morale is pretty bad. I mean, I understand it. I understand it very much. I mean, if I call a snow day, I don't pay, my employees don't get paid, but if I call a snow day. If O'Connor's calls a snow day, you don't get paid. So I think we got way too many. We never used to have this many snow days. We need to stop canceling when the state of Maine decides they're gonna cancel 24 to 36 hours ahead of the storm even starting. That's happened twice this year. And we're closed and everybody's getting paid for it. Well, as taxpayers, that's, kind of a woof in our face that, it's not snowing outside and the offices are closed, or it's, the storm never even hit. So I just think that the policy needs to change. It's fine. If we want to have snow days, you just don't get paid for it. You can use a vacation day or whatever to cover it, or you come in on Wednesday to make it up, one of the two. And that's my, 2 cents worth on that.
We've already discussed, looking at that policy,
It's out of hand. It's literally out of hand. This goes in 24 hours or 36 hours before a storm even hits. It's foolish.
We haven't done that.
You guys just did it.
over 24 hours.
Oh, it's close to 24 hours. It's the day before.
It was the evening before, yes. And that was my fault.
I know, but it isn't the first time, Dan.
Unfortunately, meteorology is not a precise science, so.
No,
it's
that's
really-
why, that's
it's
why
really
you get
hard.
up in the morning and
It's
you
really
decide
hard
if
to
it's
know.
gonna be open or closed. I just think it's I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, it's the same thing as, people wanted to, do a ballot thing. It's like, you're hearing this all through town. You go to Christie's when there's a day you guys are closed, and that's all you listen to.
Well, at least we know our employees are safe and they're not gonna have accidents on the road.
Okay, so most of your employees live right in the town of Belgrade. And then you're requiring employees to come to work. So what's the difference? Half your crew is working, half your crew's home getting paid for it.
Okay, this is public comment, remember? So
I know, but
I will put it on an agenda for a future discussion.
I'm just saying,
Agenda for future discussion. Thank you.
I'd like to see it on the agenda, please. Next meeting would be nice.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, warrants.
Oh, When we guys get started on warrant, I'd like to know what happened on the attorney fees on the last warrant.
Oh,
Good morning, Lorna. Thank you very much and sincere apologies for the errors attached as a corrected invoice for scope of services matter 005-139-00201, as well as an updated summary. So it was error on the part of the attorney's office.
Thank you.
Hi, Kristen. Are we ready for warrants? Okay, I move we approve warrant 17 in the amount of $14,068.13. Move to approve. Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Warrant number 18, payroll warrant. In the amount of $23,323.62. Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Warrant number 22. In the amount of $30,868.43. Move to wait, sorry. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 30,800, sorry, I was looking at the wrong, I was looking at this two now. Okay. Sorry, warrant 22 in the amount of $30,860.43.
Okay, if you find them, just shoot.
Move to approve.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Okay, any questions? All in favor? Warrant 23 in the amount of $5,750.18. Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions? BMV. All in favor?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay, 24. Warrant 24 in the amount of $95,138.30. Move to approve.
Second.
I did not have anything. Other expenses.
Let's see, we'll get real quick.
And the question was more, which Lorna answered for me about business communications of Maine on the first page, so that's for our physical telephones. What? Okay, questions? All in favor? Okay, warrant 25 in the amount of $20,768.51. Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Yeah.
Warrant 26, little warrant in the amount of $25,365.92. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? All right. That's it for warrants.
Do we need to have a motion to change the select board meeting?
Yes, from the 17th, to the 16th.
Are we ready for that at this point? I would move that we move our select board meeting from Tuesday, March 17th to Monday, March 16th, starting at 6:30.
Get a hand up.
Because.
What?
Because. Why?
We're trying to get a budget meeting, select board and budget committee couldn't get a quorum next week, so we thought we could move the select board meeting from Tuesday to Monday.
Could we get the
And get a
quorum
quorum
of
for
the
both.
alternates?
No,
I
select
don't
board,
have-
we need
I
a
don't
quorum
have
of select
select
board.
Can get a quorum?
Yeah,
Right.
Anthony.
And one is out on the 17th, but she could come in on the 16th.
Okay. I just didn't know why.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, St. Patrick's Day, maybe I won't make it.
Oh.
Yeah. Make it more
Yeah,
fun.
I think we could sit here and drink dinners.
Anthony has a question.
Anthony.
Not a question, just a comment. I'm disappointed by this simply because I was looking forward to participating in that discussion. The Winthrop Town Council meets on the first and third Mondays of the month, and so therefore I must be at work. It's not as if I have a choice in that matter. And I think as you all saw on Saturday, given my education experience and training with municipal budgets, I think I was able to see some things that others did not. And so I was looking forward to the discussion. I think there's some further points to be raised about the budget, and I'm disappointed that I won't have the opportunity to be there to raise that with you guys.
I'm sorry about that. If we'll have all the material ahead of time, so if you can review it before and send in your comments, that would be appreciated.
So I made the motion. Have we voted?
No.
No, I don't have a second.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, it was clear we couldn't get a quorum
I
anyway, right?
I tried to get a quorum for next week, but I couldn't get a quorum. And Mike Quinn is going to be here from Tennessee. We bought tickets for a concert 2 months ago and it's the 17th.
Yeah.
So we've had it on the books for 2 months. It's okay.
So I said, I can't come the 17th. I wasn't gonna be here the 17th anyway, but I said, how about if we move it to the 16th? She can come and sit and be entertaining. While we
She's sat through our meetings before.
She can sit with
Mr. Nichols.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second.
Yes, all in favor.
Great.
Okay, do we have a town manager?
Yeah.
Do we have a copy of that?
Yes, should be. Should be.
I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean I didn't mess it up with something else.
I thought I tucked it in there, no?
It's okay, you can read it. We're all ears. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was hiding.
Here we go. I apologize.
It's okay.
Application and supporting documentation has been submitted to USDA with regard to the CDS grant process. We are awaiting word from that office on next steps. A big thank you to Tom Daniels for taking on the application and working additional hours to get it wrapped up quickly. Attended budget committee meeting February 25, attended Zoom training February 26, Maine Government Finance Officers Association. Barbara Allen, myself, Mary and Penny, on March 2nd to review sick and vacation time policies in our employee handbook. We will be meeting a few times with an HR professional to go over options and to come up with the very best ideas to bring to the select board for consideration. We've already booked 2 of those meetings, so those will be coming right up. The select board and budget committee met with department heads for a budget workshop Saturday, February 28. We are working on the next workshop date to wrap things up. Absentee ballots must be ready for April 9, so we have much to do to finalize the budget and get warrant articles ready for both the select board and budget committee to review and vote on. The Kennebec County All Hazards Risk Assessment, they canceled their first Monday meeting. The snow day that we had. So they're gonna reschedule that. And so there's just some information there. The team consists of myself, Deanne McKenzie, Jeremy Dameron, Travis Burton, Danielle Bedard, Corey Alexander, and Jason Stevens. The annual candidate forum will take place. We had originally scheduled this for May 11th, and Regina found she had a conflict with that date, so we did change it to May 18th at 6 p.m. and she'll be the one who will be volunteering to put that together. We'll announce additional details once they become available.
Well, I'm thinking of it, it was brought up on the other business, it got overlooked, remember we had discussed. Getting on the agenda, talking about the summer program and the drop off and pickup times. I think I've had some complaints, Doug's had some complaints. So we've got to find a way, because they're advertising, dropping off, I think at 8 and picking up by 4. And people don't have time to go to work, they could be work by 8, so.
We did talk about
We
that.
talked
about that
at the
Saturday.
meeting,
Okay,
at the budget meeting.
okay, so we've got to figure out what's going on with that, because trying to charge people an extra $30. For
I thought she said it was 8 to 5 and not 8 to 4.
8 to 5.
Might be 8 to 5, but
8 to 5.
whatever it is, it's basically not allowing people to have a half hour to get to work and a half hour to get from work out to there by the time they leave.
She did mention that if start any earlier than 8, then her staff has to be there even earlier, which adds more payroll hours
Overtime.
and
Right,
potential
so
overtime.
she would need a lot of extra hours to do that, so.
Well, we're gonna have to look at that because you're gonna have people that need to drop off kids before 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's either they're gonna have to have some staff that comes in a little bit early and then leaves a little earlier.
I think they're
Yeah,
dropping
yeah.
them at 7, mostly at 7:30. Although she said some arrived shortly after 7 and just park them there.
But I think the stuff advertised says drop off is at 8. And if you're dropping off earlier than that, it's $30 charge.
So, too
I
bad
think
Kristen
for the
was left,
week, right?
The week.
We did talk about it, we
Right.
did bring it up, but
Right.
We'll
I
have
don't,
to, yeah, I don't remember
Yeah, we
exactly
didn't-
what
we
we
didn't
were
change
on
anything,
that.
Yeah.
I don't believe, she
Yeah.
was saying how much it would impact her payroll, and
Right.
I don't know what all
Well,
that
it's
means.
something we're gonna have to look at, because if I work in Augusta, my hours are 8 to 5 in Augusta.
I'll touch
Right.
base with
You
her.
know, how am I gonna drop off kids at 8 o'clock when I have to be at work at 8 o'clock? You know, most of the people either live in Waterville, I'm working Waterville or
Or
Augusta.
work against her.
You know, you're gonna half hour to go to work and half hour to get from work back here.
Yeah.
So,
Lauren, is there any way I can get the AI notes that we took in on, at the Owl's Inn for Saturday's meeting?
I don't, I think I've already deleted everything. The summary,
Yeah,
I get a Zoom summary. I may have thrown it in my Zoom summary in my email. I'll look.
if so, can you just email it to me, cause
Sure.
I think it'd be quicker for me to
Yeah,
go through that, and we'll be there.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
we did-
summary.
there was a
the summary
discussion
isn't
on it.
Too bad. It's not complete accuracy, so you have to just keep an open mind. when
Right,
you're
I mean, I
reading
can
it.
call and ask you questions on it, and can you, building committee for next Wednesday in the small conference room, can you schedule that for me, please? So we can have that discussion before the next select board meeting,
At what time?
we'll do it at 6:30.
What's that date?
What should we do?
18.
That's so long.
Is it
11th,
the
isn't it?
18th?
No, the 11th,
Is it?
I think so. Don't quote me on that, for sure.
It is the 11th, yeah, because we were trying to do the
Meeting then, adjourn.
budget meeting next week. Okay, yep. Got it.
Thank you.
Are we ready for a motion? I move we adjourn at 7:56.
Second. All in favor? Wow.
Beth, I want to congratulate you on Saturday. Everybody said you ran the meeting perfect, kept it on schedule. And you did great.